All right, we're at Fort Delaware State Park. We're going to go to the Fort Delaware. We're going to ride this ferry that's coming back now. And it's built in 1859. Fort Delaware served as a Civil War prison, which held close to 33,000 Confederate POWs during the Civil War. The fort was active during the Civil War, Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II. However, during this entire history, Fort Delaware never fired a shot in combat. Here we are on the tram going to Fort Delaware. That way.
All right, first thing, I hope you had a good boat ride coming over. And on behalf of our Commanding General, Alvin F. Sheff, it's my pleasure to welcome you civilian visitors. Even if you're from a state that starts with A and ends with an A, and I don't mean Alaska. My name is Washington George Nugent, and I am a Union Army doctor. The year is 1864, of course. I've been here about 8 months. Came here in December of 1863. And General Sheff feels that I'm pretty well qualified to give you visitors, you civilian visitors, some basic information. By the way, I'm from Pennsylvania, a little town called Doylestown, just a bit northwest of Philadelphia. So the first thing I want to point out to you, to my left, your right, that mustard-colored building in the distance with the blue doors, we in the Army call those privies. You civilians probably call them bathrooms. No matter what we call, as long as you know what that building is used for. In the opposite direction, there are 51, believe it or not, Confederate prisoner of war barracks buildings there. But one of them has an open door, open red door. That one is available for you civilians to go into, to inspect. And for most of the day, we've had a Confederate prisoner in there. Just one, we moved all the others out, who is more than happy to talk to you northern civilians and give you what they consider the true story about Fort Delaware. Obviously, their opinion is going to be a little different from ours. But good to get both sides. Check with the Confederate prisoner of war out there. Right before you get on the vehicle to go home, you can ignore it the whole rest of the time. Those black mats that are by the silver railings. Right before you get on the tram, though, we ask you please walk through them. For some reason, you're walking through soapy water. Some way, somehow, that's protecting bats. Why? I don't know, but that's what I've been told. We like bats because they eat a lot of insect pests, and millions of bats have died in the last decade in this country. And that's a very bad thing, because as I said, bats are pretty helpful little guys. So we'll appreciate it. Bats will appreciate it if you walk through right before you get on the tram. Now, one quick, it's an observation, because I'm a gentleman as an officer in the United States Army, but I'm a little curious that some of you ladies, how do I put this? You dress like men. I'm not sure, I'm confused by that. Now, for a lot of the rest of you, I owe you an apology. You're thinking, wait a minute, he just insulted those ladies. What did he do to us? Hopefully I didn't insult you, but I might have. Well, what happened was that we didn't protect you very well, because it's obvious that for a lot of you have had your pants stolen by the Confederate prisoners, and you're walking around in your underwear. We'll try and get your pants back for you, but I gotta tell you, those guys are pretty good at hiding stuff from us. You may not be able to get your pants back. Now, ladies who are wearing slacks or jeans, you're just fine. People wearing shorts, you're just fine. You're comfortable. That's what's important on a day like today. Now, my attitude towards your clothing really changed a lot, didn't it? Well, it's because I took my hat off. With my hat on, I would be Dr. Nugent, the Union Army officer, looking a little suspicious at that fellow right there, and would be scandalized, actually, that the ladies weren't wearing long dresses. And they didn't wear shorts in the Civil War, so he thinks it's underwear, not shorts. With my hat off, my name is Bill. In the year 2022, I work for Fort Delaware in Smyrna, Delaware, and you're all dressed fine, and yeah, your shirt's okay. Now, if I went to Auburn, I might be mad or something, but no, I went to the University of Delaware, so I'm okay. My second nephew went to Auburn, but he left after a year, and came up back to Pennsylvania. You guys are all dressed fine, believe me. Now, I'll tell you a couple of things about those mats that Dr. Nugent wouldn't have known 160 years ago. You walk through soapy water, it's actually woolite and water, no harsh chemicals. They didn't have woolite back in the Civil War. The disease he's talking about was white nose syndrome, the one that's killing all the bats. And he wasn't wrong about that. It has killed millions of bats in this country in the last decade and a half. And he wasn't wrong. Bats are good. They're the good guys. They eat a lot of like mosquitoes and other pests like that. But he didn't know the thing was called white nose syndrome. That's a disease, and he didn't know that people can't get it. So we're safe from white nose syndrome. How many people have pets at home? They're safe too. It only affects bats. That's it. Just bats. Every other creature in God's creation is safe. Nope, not bats. And that's a shame for the bats. But walking through the soapy water, the woolite water, hopefully kills any germs so we don't track the disease back home. Now, Bill can tell you, like I said, this fort's about 160 years old. There are some uneven surfaces, so please be careful walking throughout the fort. You know, don't want you to stub your toe or trip or fall or anything like that. Be careful, you'll be fine. Special programs today. Let me give you the next two that are optional and they're free. 1:15, not long from now, inside the fort in the parade ground, we're going to set up some games that were popular with kids 160 years ago during the Civil War. Kids of all ages are welcome to play. Your timing is good because usually this would be over by now. But at 2:15 today, we're going to load and fire that big gun at the top of the fort. Big 8-inch Columbiad gun. We do use black powder for that too. So you can watch the program from up there. We've got some spiral staircases at that end of the fort. You can watch it out here, right where those people are. They'll be long gone. You can see the program here. You still got a ringside seat. And I'm not on the gun crew today. I've rotated. Today's my day to be off the gun crew. So I'm going to be down here telling people here what's going on up there. 2:15 is that program. And lastly, inside the fort, right inside the fort, actually those windows right behind us, is our visitor center. We have a video in the back, we have a three-dimensional map in the middle, and in the front we have a water cooler, and we've got lots of cups, and we've got lots of water, so stay hydrated, and it's starting to feel like July. Stay safe. And we have a little bit of air conditioning, and we have some ceiling fans in the visitor center, so it's a good place to cool off if you want to for a few minutes. Well, thanks for coming out today, guys, and enjoy your visit.
Here we are. We're in the entrance. Look at these doors. Aren't they awesome? Yeah. This is the ordnance room. Here we are in the officers' quarters upstairs. This is cool. This is so cool. Here's the other one. Look how pretty that room is. So far, we've seen some pretty cool stuff. We've seen blacksmith, artillery or ordnance room. We got to hear some music. Kids out there playing games from the Civil War time or even Revolutionary War or whatever. Well, I think it's Civil War. But yeah, it's pretty cool here. I like it. And we both are having a good time, aren't we?